Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our Aboriginal Employment and Development Program information session today. My name is Charlene Davison of the New South Wales Public Service Commission, and I'm a proud Biripi person from Taree. I acknowledge we are presenting on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I would like to pay my respects to Elders past and present, and would like to extend my respects to Aboriginal people joining our presentation from country across New South Wales. To officially start the information session, I welcome Uncle Alan Madden from Metropolitan Aboriginal Lands Council to deliver a welcome to country.
G'day. My name is Alan Madden, Gadigal Elder. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge all our Aboriginal brothers and sisters from whatever Aboriginal nation you may be in or come from. Welcome to Gadigal. And to all our Aboriginal elders, past and present, I'd like to pay my respects. Where we are today is Gadigal. Gadigal is one of 29 clans of the Eora Nation. The Eora Nation is bounded by nature's own. The Hawkesbury River to the north. The mobs up that way call it the Darkinjung. The Peene to the west. The Derrabin. And Georges River to the south. Kaimai. And in between those three mighty rivers is the Eora Nation. And in that nation there are 29 clans. And the clan's land we're on today is Gadigal. On behalf of members of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council and of the Gadigal mob, once again a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. And as I've mentioned many times before, was, is and always will be Aboriginal land. And as you travel across these traditional lands and waters, may the spirits of our ancestors guide and look over you and keep you safe. So once again, on behalf of members of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council and of the Gadigal mob, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Alan, for your warm but strong welcome to country. So today you'll hear from my colleagues at the New South Wales Public Service Commission. First up, you'll hear from Kathy Baker, Director of Leadership and Values, who will provide an overview of the New South Wales public sector. Then you'll hear from Donna Burke, who will provide an overview of the Aboriginal Employment and Development Program. We're also pleased that you'll be hearing from our education partners, Daniel and Emma of the Aboriginal Learning Circle from Hunter TAFE, and also John from the Hunter TAFE. If you're watching us live, we would like this session to be as interactive as possible. So we ask that if you have questions, please click the Ask a Question button on the bottom right of your screen. I would now like to introduce Kathy Baker.
Thanks, Charlene. Hi everyone, my name's Kathy Baker. I'm the Director for Leadership and Values at the Public Service Commission. Also, I would like to thank Uncle Alan for his very warm welcome to country and acknowledge that we're presenting on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. And I'd also like to pay my respects to Elders past and present and to extend my respects to Aboriginal people joining our presentation from all across New South Wales. So as a sector, we employ just over 10% of the state's workforce, and you can see from the slide that's being shown on the screen whereabouts across the sector our workforce work. Now, we're very proud to say that just about any job that you can imagine someone doing is done by someone somewhere in the sector. So we offer a huge range of career opportunities and career pathways for our employees. The largest employer is, of course, health, followed by education, justice, industry, transport, family and community services, and then a number of smaller central agencies as well. So we're able to offer employment opportunities for everyone, we believe. Of course, one of the key things that we're focused on and concerned about is our role as the largest employer in the country and in New South Wales. So we employ just over 10% of the state's workforce, which is around 326,000 odd people. And of course, this means that we're very well aware of the social impacts that we can have as a very significant and large employer, and that we have an employment obligation to be equitable around how we employ people. Not only that, we're funded by the people of New South Wales, and our role is to serve the people of New South Wales. So we have an obligation to spend our money wisely and ensure that we have diverse workforces and teams. Now, we have succeeded somewhat in achieving this, and in some respects we do have a very diverse workforce. So 63.3%, for example, of our workforce are women. 33% of our senior leaders are women. So in terms of the gender of people we employ, we are performing quite well relative to other employers, but we do have a lot of work to do around racial and ethnic diversity, as well as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander employment and people with disabilities. So while we are proud that we are gaining traction and working hard towards developing a more inclusive workplace, we're also very focused on continuing the journey and continuing to drive the representation of diverse work groups across the sector. So it's interesting also when you look at where our people work, because we have a very strong presence in regional areas as an employer also. So if you have a look at the next slide, you'll see that we employ a huge number of people in the western regions of New South Wales, 36,500 across the Hunter region, the North Coast, southern New South Wales, and of course across the outer Sydney areas as well. We are a very significant employer. So we also recognise that there are a large number of Aboriginal people based in the outer areas of Sydney and also the wider regions in New South Wales. And as a result of that, the program that we're going to talk to you about today features a number of opportunities that are outside of Sydney and based in regional areas. So the next slide I'd like to just quickly share with you is focusing on the Premier's priority around driving public sector diversity. So I think one of the key aspects of this is that there is considerable support for this program and for the work that the Public Service Commission is doing. The Premier is very focused on developing Aboriginal people in our sector, and this is a key program that supports his objective, which is to drive public sector diversity and very specifically to double the number of Aboriginal people in leadership roles by 2025. So the New South Wales public sector also has an Aboriginal employment strategy, which commits us to establishing an additional entry point for Aboriginal recruits. And this program delivers on that. So one of the important aspects of our program is that we are looking for talented Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who don't currently work in the public sector. This is a very targeted program to be introducing more Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people into the sector. And we are very, very excited about being able to launch this. In May 2016, the New South Wales Ombudsman also produced a special report to Parliament called Fostering Economic Development for Aboriginal People in New South Wales. And in this report, it was acknowledged that this program, the Aboriginal Employment Development Program, will be an important contributor to this work also. So it's very exciting for us at the Public Service Commission to know that we have considerable support across our senior leaders for continuing this work and for offering employment opportunities for Aboriginal people. So I might hand over now to Donna Burke to take you through the program in a little bit more detail.
Thanks, Kathy. So my name's Donna Burke. I work for the New South Wales Public Service Commission and I'm project managing the Aboriginal Employment Development Program. I'd like to also acknowledge that we're presenting on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I'd like to pay my respects to Elders past and present and extend my respects to all Aboriginal people joining our presentation from across country New South Wales today. So a diverse workforce has many benefits for our agencies and most importantly for our customers. We want more Aboriginal people across the sector, not just in Aboriginal identified roles, but also in mainstream roles such as those that are offered by this program. And as Kathy's mentioned, to be eligible for consideration of this program, you need to identify as an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander person. You must not be currently employed in the New South Wales public sector in an ongoing or temporary or contracted capacity as well. So this is a new entry program for talented Aboriginal people working in the private sector or looking for an experience working with us in the public sector. So if you're the person that is wanting to start a career in the New South Wales public sector, you want the variety and opportunity in your career, like Kathy outlined, around the agencies we have available to work with. If you're keen to be involved in the work of government and you have a passion around your own professional learning and development and making a contribution to the work of New South Wales Government, then I encourage you to apply. I'll have John and Daniel and Emma to talk to you about the Diploma of Leadership and Management shortly, but we're looking at a very well-rounded program. The program is an 18-month placement, 18-month work experience with an agency after the completion of your diploma qualification and subject to satisfactory performance on the job. We're converting the candidates from a temporary appointment to an ongoing appointment. So basically, you'll come in, you'll have your 18 months experience working with the agency, you'll do your diploma, and at the end of it, you end up with a full-time job if you graduate and perform on the job. We'll also provide you with lots of support to get you to that finish line. We have some mentoring and networking, which I'll talk about shortly. And then the major component is our education component, our education business partners will be delivering for you. So the application process or the assessment process to have you come in and join the program is a 5-step process, which has started now. So it's important that when you apply for a place in the Aboriginal Employment Development Program, that you go online to our website, which is on the screen now, www.psc.nsw.gov.au/AEDP. We need you to apply through that process, not through a third-party job board. After we've received your applications, we'll go through and have a look for people that are eligible to progress to the next stage, and that will involve a member of the Aboriginal Workforce Development Team at the Public Service Commission picking up the phone and having a conversation with you about your experiences and your ambitions and your expectations around working with us. After that, we'll then put forward a number of candidates through to an online assessment. Now, it's important for you to have a conversation with us if you require any support on your online assessments. We're very happy to make reasonable adjustments to support you with online testing. So please don't hesitate to have a conversation with us around that. The online assessment is broken up into 2 main pieces. One's a cognitive assessment and an online personality questionnaire. That would be about 15 minutes for the cognitive assessment and about 25 minutes for the online personality questionnaire. We'll then have a look at those results and recommend a number of candidates to go through to our assessment day, and we'll talk to you closer to the time. We'll have an assessment day in Orange and an assessment day in Sydney as well. And that assessment day will be you participating in a group activity as well as having an interview with a member of our assessment team as well. Following that, which will be in early December, we'll then do some reference checks and pre-employment screenings and prepare to make offers to our recommended candidates. I'll just let you know the timing of those. The applications opened last Monday, the 31st, and they'll close at 11:59 p.m. on the 20th of November, so that's Sunday week. We'll do our assessment activities between the 20th of November until early January, which is when we'll write to you with letters of offer. Your employment will start with us in the first weeks of February, and we expect that you'll start your diploma studies with Aboriginal Learning Circle and TAFE no later than July 2017. I'll just let you listen to Jaren's message. She's a current employee of New South Wales Public Sector.
When I go to work each day, it's much more than a job. I'm working to improve outcomes for Indigenous people and give them the chance of a better future. Around 20 years ago, it was recognised that the lack of an Aboriginal presence in law enforcement was contributing to cross-cultural issues and division. They realised a change was needed for engaging with Aboriginal communities and creating a workforce that encouraged and valued diversity. That's how iProud was born. Indigenous Police Recruiting, Our Way Delivery. A joint initiative between New South Wales Police, Aboriginal Housing and TAFE that provides Aboriginal people with intensive academic fitness and leadership training to fast-track their way into the New South Wales Police Force. iProud not only helps them to improve their own lives, they become role models in their communities and learn more about their culture. We work for Indigenous youth and communities. We work for New South Wales.
For this pilot program, we have 5 participating agencies offering 7 roles. These roles are available in the Sydney metropolitan area and 4 roles are located regionally. Family and Community Services at Ashfield have a Project Support Officer role. Family and Community Services at Cootamundra and Parks have Senior Customer Service Officer roles available. Treasury has a Administration Assistant role available in the Sydney CBD. New South Wales Police have an Administration Assistant role available in the Office of the New South Wales Police Commissioner in the Sydney CBD. Bathurst has a role for a Project Manager for Public Works Advisory. And New South Wales Health at their Central Coast Local Health District has a Project Support Officer role available at Gosford. I invite you to have a look at our web page at www.psc.nsw.gov.au/ADP, and the role descriptions for those roles are available for you online there to have a look at. So one of the important parts of our program is supporting you as a new public servant, and it will be one of the critical components to the program's success. When you start your career with the public service under the Aboriginal Employment and Development Program, you'll have exposure to a number of support systems. The Public Service Commission will stay in touch with you for the duration of the 18-month program to provide ongoing support and guidance to you. Our education partners, TAFE and Aboriginal Learning Circle, will also be a support network as part of your program of study. You'll have the opportunity to network and connect with others in the program and create a sense of shared experience. This will start at day 1 when you meet and attend a central orientation day. You'll also meet your supervisor as part of your central orientation program, and they and your office colleagues will also be a source of ongoing support and advice to you as you start your career in the New South Wales public sector. You'll have an opportunity for mentoring by senior Aboriginal staff in the sector, for example, a member of the Public Service Commission's Aboriginal Employment Advisory Committee, or by alumni of our Aboriginal Career and Leadership Development Program. You'll also be able to broaden your networks with other Aboriginal staff throughout the sector through attending Aboriginal staff networking events delivered by your employing agency or part of the New South Wales Public Service Commission's cross-sector Aboriginal staff networking program. I'd like to hand you over to our education partners to discuss the education component of our program.
Thank you. G'day, my name's Daniel Jack. I'm the Relieving Director of the Aboriginal Learning Circle, Hunter TAFE. I'm also a Gomeroi man from northwestern New South Wales. I'd also like to pay my respects to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and extend that respect to elders both past and present and each of you mob out there. So the Aboriginal Learning Circle is a support unit within Hunter TAFE. So we're there to basically walk alongside our Aboriginal students and make sure they've got the support they need to get where they want to be at the end of the day. So we'll very much be there walking alongside you in your journey within this course. So yeah, we're very passionate about helping to empower our people. So we'll take care of the training component of this course. So I'll hand over shortly to my colleagues to explain a little bit more about that. But yeah, we look forward to walking alongside in your deadly dream to becoming a public servant. So we're just going to go show you a short video now, and then we're going to hand over to John, who can explain a little bit more about the course, and Emma. Thank you.
My dad once asked me, if I want a fruit, would I wait under the tree for the fruit to fall, or would I climb the tree and go get it? My deadly dream is to be an actor.
My deadly dream is to be a nurse.
A policeman.
Primary school teacher.
PT teacher.
Graphic designer.
Practitioner in medicine.
Director of a childcare centre.
I'll claim my future.
Yeah, so sorry, I'll hand over to John, who can explain a little bit about the course that we're going to be running as a part of the program.
All participants will participate in the Diploma of Leadership and Management, and you can see up on the screen there that the course consists of core units, elective units and specialty units. There's 4 core units, compulsory units within the qualification that everyone will undertake. We'll show you in a minute's time the 4 elective units we're offering to the full group, and then at the conclusion of those 8 units you will stream off into the specialty units that will align with your job role. So the beauty of this qualification is, whilst it will give you the underpinning skills to be an effective manager, it's also going to support your development by giving you critical skills required in your specialty area. So the core units there, and what's really exciting is units such as emotional intelligence. Absolutely terrific for anyone that will have to manage people. So you see on the left-hand side the core or compulsory units. On the right-hand side are the selected units that everyone will undertake as their elective units, and then the final 4 units will be determined by whether you're going to undertake a business administration specialty or a customer service specialty, project management specialty, or become a generic manager. And so the units that you will select as those final 4 will align to your particular roles. A great qualification, and Emma will talk to you about how we will offer this up and the processes involved.
Thanks, John. Hi everyone out there. My name is Emma. I'm the Project Officer at the Aboriginal Learning Circle at Hunter TAFE. I'm a very proud Warramai woman, and just want to pay my respects to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and thank you all for coming along to listen. Away from Base program is actually owned by Prime Minister's Cabinet, which the Aboriginal Learning Circle have a contract to run at Hunter Institute. It aims to provide an opportunity for those who live quite regional to access tertiary level education, and in this particular field, the vet sector, so your certificates and your diploma level courses. The Aboriginal Learning Circle staff at the Hunter Institute, we all get very much on board with Away From Base. It is quite a successful program. We have around 10 staff that all support Away From Base and its logistics and operations. So Away From Base is essentially a block release or residential program. We receive funding that will cover your cost of your fares, your meals and accommodation while you're on block release for eligible Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. And it's called a mixed mode course. So you essentially enrol into a course where you have face-to-face delivery and it's mixed up with remote study at home. You might have online web classes or web seminars and things like that. So it is a blended kind of learning, which is very favourable to people, like I said before, who lived remotely and can't access TAFE campuses every day, who work full-time or work part-time, and again, can't access TAFE or university as a full-time student or a part-time student would, and also for people who have quite a lot of kids at home or very much have a demanding home life where these blocks, there are set dates and you're able to schedule them into your life and vice versa. So we actually are running a Diploma of Community Services at the moment, where everyone in that course works part-time or full-time with NGOs, mostly with FACS, and it's been the first opportunity they've actually, these students have had to have, should have been able to access, where they're able to complete a diploma level course and work at the same time. So as far as you being an eligible student to be able to access away from base, blended or residential block release learning, you have to identify as an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander person. Of course, be enrolled in and studying an approved mixed mode course with a provider in receipt of mixed mode away from base funding for that course. So Hunter Institute, in particular the Aboriginal Learning Circle, is a provider who is approved to deliver mixed mode delivery courses and receive away from base funding. And as a student who would be enrolling into a away from base course, you are automatically enrolling into a mixed mode delivery course. The other thing that makes you an eligible student for away from base study is that you have to receive one or more AB study benefits payable from Department of Human Services during the funding year in which a study is being undertaken in the respect of mixed mode delivery. Just would like to clarify, I do not work for the Department of Human Services. However, our students that work full-time or part-time or have their means exclude them from the fortnightly AB study benefit. There is an incidentals allowance through AB study. It's a one-off non-means tested allowance, which most students are eligible for. Once you enrol into the course, you will be encouraged to apply for the incidentals allowance, as it does make you an eligible student and we are able to access the funding for you. Basically, you will receive a one-off payment from DHS. So at this stage, 1,000 foot, we are proposing that we will have 3 residential blocks of around 4 days, and that will be determined again by capacity and availability of teachers and resources. The residential blocks will be broken up to cover your core units and your elective units. So you won't just receive all your core stuff face-to-face and all your elective stuff at home or vice versa. It will be blended. We are proposing to have this in the Hunter region, so at Kurri Kurri campus. And you'll be housed at the Hunter Valley Hotel Academy, subject to availability. We're also planning to run this course concurrently with another program of Diploma of Leadership and Management away from base, which will actually give you an incredible opportunity to talk with other students who have already partly completed the course but come from different backgrounds and different NGOs and swap stories and things like that. So some benefits for you is that this will be a discrete cohort. So for students who are identified as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, there's a low teacher to student ratio, so there is effectively more classroom support for you. You'll be able to access tutorial support through the Aboriginal Learning Circle. So whether or not you prefer to have tutorial support at all or not is your decision. However, we can provide tutorial support for you one-on-one or in a group if you prefer during your block, or we can arrange for you to have tutorial support at your closest TAFE institute where you live or work. Again, your meals, accommodation and travel are provided, and there are a few conditions that we do need to stick to as specified by the guidelines set by Prime Minister's Cabinet. You will have access to a culturally inclusive learning environment. At Kurri Kurri campus, we have an outdoor learning space, which is quite often used by our students and staff. You'll have ongoing teacher support during the course. Quite often, a lot of our away from base teachers will schedule out a couple of hours a week for virtual or telephone support, And of course, there is the flexibility that comes along with away from base. So if you need extra time to submit assignments or things like that, or you can't make every single block, there is a lot of flexibility around studying in the vet sector.
Thank you, Emma, for taking us through that information. There's a lot of great details there that I think people need to know. We've actually had a couple of questions from our listeners. What is the salary range for the roles is one of them. Donna, if you're able to
thanks, Charlene.
respond.
Thanks. So the role is pitched at the grade 3, 4 or equivalent level. So the salary range for that starts at $67,248 plus employers' contributions to superannuation and annual leave. The maximum salary for that level is $73,635, and that is you attract an increment each year up to a 4-year period. Some of the roles are outside of the Crown Employees Award, but the salary is approximately that figure.
Great. Okay, so another question that we have is what is the website that I need to apply through?
Okay, so we'll have a slide which we'll leave on screen shortly after this question and answer session. The site is www.psc.nsw.gov.au/AEDP, and we invite you to apply through that website by the 20th of November.
Okay. And I have one final question. If you have any further questions, please jump online and send those through to us. Is this a full-time permanent role?
It is a full-time role. Initially, you're appointed in temporary capacity, subject to your ongoing performance on the job and your completion of the tertiary qualification with Aboriginal Learning Circle and TAFE. You will be converted from a temporary role into an ongoing role. So yes, it is a full-time permanent role at the end of the process. Okay.
Great.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. If we could just have the next slide, thank you. Thank you. So our contact information is on the screen for you. We'll leave that up for a little while. Please don't hesitate to send your questions to us at our aedp@psc.nsw.gov.au email address, or alternatively you can contact me directly on 6339 5924. That information is also on our AEDP website. So thanks for joining us today. I'd like to thank my panel members for their support, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.